Hi, I'm Chris, and this is my third time leading the Bonaire service trip. One of my main motivations for creating this trip was to give students the ability to explore firsthand the wonders of the underwater world in the hope that this might lead to more sustainable living for the trip participants.
Hi, I'm Edna. My main goal was to give dimension to the poetry we read. To swim with the tarpon after having read Derek Walcott's poem? Oof, there's nothing like it.
Hi, I'm Polly. This was the first time leading this trip. My main objective was to help students better understand the biology and conservation of coral reefs and the impact of climate change on this marine ecosystem.
For our service trip, we spent 2 weeks on the small Caribbean island of Bonaire. We spent our time working with many different organizations across the island, as well as doing service with just our group to help restore the effects climate change has had on our oceans. We had an amazing time exploring the islands and immersing ourselves in the unique blend of cultures while becoming closer friends and certified scuba divers.
We engaged in literature and marine science coursework before, during, and after traveling to Bonaire.
Before the trip, we read and analyzed a lot of Caribbean poetry, through which we learned about the history and culture of the region.
We also learned about various marine animals and their roles in the ecosystem, which was supplemented with fascinating dissections of fish, crustaceans, squid, and sharks.
We continued studying and implementing the material during the trip and finished the term with final literature portfolio presentations with visuals in a school-wide exhibition.
Our scuba training was split into 2 days at the George School Pool. On Monday and Tuesday, Group A got to be in the water, and on Wednesday and Thursday, Group B jumped in.
We had 3 dives on day 1, where we started by getting comfortable breathing with a regulator, using our hand signals and learning dive procedures.
Day 2, we had 2 dives, and we were able to swim through hoops, play around and underwater, and do many emergency protocol dives.
Getting in the water for the first time and being able to breathe underwater was a life-changing experience.
Bonaire is an island with a rich cultural history. One of the main parts of the island's economic past and present is the production and export of salt. We visited the slave huts, which were housing for African people who were enslaved on the island and worked in the salt pans. We got to see the slave huts up close and learn about their historical significance. Although slavery was abolished in Bonaire in 1863, it is still very valuable for us to acknowledge the past and educate ourselves, even on such a beautiful island. We dove almost every day on our trip, up to 4 times a day.
Each dive set we visited was unique and different from the rest, with new entries and animal species each time.
Some of the best diving experiences were diving through a bait ball at Bachelor's Beach, seeing reef squid at Hamlet Oasis, watching juvenile sea turtles eat at Salt Pier, diving the Hilma Hooker shipwreck, and seeing octopuses hunt on our spooky night dives.
We also often saw very large silver tarpons hunt in the dark, and it felt like we were swimming with sharks. It was fun to learn about many different types of fish and how to identify them.
Some of our favorites are the spotted moray eel, porcupine fish, tarpon, green sea turtle, brain coral, and tube sponges.
While diving at Bachelor's Beach, something unforgettable happened. Chris started banging on his tank. He screamed and pointed. There, just ahead, was a massive bait ball. Tens of thousands of small fish were swirling in perfect harmony, a mesmerizing spectacle of movement and light.
The sight was so unexpected, so alive, that it made me feel deeply connected to the ocean. We began to dance while witnessing something so beautiful. At that moment, I truly understood the importance of protecting what we so often take for granted.
We saw many interesting animals above and below water.
We saw wild donkeys, goats, flamingos, iguanas, and some cats and dogs on the side of the road or in nearby puddles. Donkeys and goats are invasive species and can be found wandering near roads close to town and in the more desert-like parts of the island.
At the donkey sanctuary, we saw around 800 donkeys that lived on the island. We also saw some iguanas, turtles, and flamingos.
My favorite animal that I saw was the wild goat.
My favorite animal that I saw were the flamingos.
During our trip, we took a course to earn our Reef Renewal Diver certification.
We learned to clean the coral trees, hang new corals, and outplant ones for future growth.
Each dive challenged our basic scuba skills, especially buoyancy control.
In addition, they taught us about different aspects of coral life, including the importance of reefs, threats to reefs, and methods of restoration.
When we weren't diving or doing service, my favorite thing that we did was the night we went to the outdoor movie theater.
I really enjoyed when we went sailing on the Woodwind and snorkeled together.
We also frequently went to explore the local town to go shopping for souvenirs and visit local restaurants.
My favorite restaurant was Mi Banana, which served Bonairean cuisine. It even had donkey on the menu.
My favorite was Eddie's. The ambiance and food were amazing. I had the best creme brulee.
One day we went to Loch Bay. We had lunch on the beach and then swam in the clear and shallow water while people were windsurfing.
During our 2 weeks together, we spent much time getting to know each other, meeting new people, and creating new memories.
One of my favorite times together is telling stories while driving and watching the scenery. At night we played an array of card games and sometimes watched movies. During the day we were able to hang out by the pool, explore the island, go out to eat, and dive.
We were also able to meet many great people. Goose and Micah, two of our dive instructors.
Vanessa, Rob, Liza, who worked with us during the reef renewal.
Miranda, a GS alum from 2019, traveled and dived with us.
Mona, Kim, Issa were our boat dive crew.
Jenny, our wonderful hotel manager.
And many other people who made our trip memorable.
Along with diving, we spent a lot of time learning about conservation by attending presentations hosted by the Caribbean Islands Manta Conservation and Sea Turtle Conservation Bonaire.
These presentations taught us a lot about manta rays and sea turtles while educating us about how to protect them.
We also learned about mangroves and planted some mangrove seedlings with the mangrove maniacs.
Bonaire's reefs are a biodiversity hotspot, yet they're under serious threat from climate change and other environmental stressors.
Rising ocean temperatures causes coral bleaching, where coral loses the algae that provide their color and essential nutrients, making them vulnerable to disease.
Ocean acidification further weakens corals by reducing their ability to build sturdy skeletons.
Invasive species also add pressure to the ecosystem, affecting biodiversity and disturbing natural reef dynamics.
Together, these challenges not only endanger marine life, but also affect Bonaire's economy, which depends on ecotourism.
Bonaire's resilience hinges on both local efforts and global climate action to preserve its rich marine ecosystems for future generations.
This raises the question, what can you do to help? Well, to start now. Whether you avoid eating beef once a week, reduce the length of each shower by 3 minutes, or stop using disposable utensils, cups, and brown boxes in the dining hall, you will make a huge difference the sooner you begin.
Our Bonaire experience heightened our awareness of environmental impacts, leading us to adopt more sustainable living practices and even inspiring some to pursue careers in environmental conservation.
As a class, we were concerned that flying a group of students thousands of miles would contradict our mission to preserve nature. So we pledged to make lifestyle changes to completely offset the carbon created by our travels.
We encourage everyone watching this to take similar steps to help reduce the carbon footprint of the George School community.
We hope you have enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you for watching.